You work hard for your money every year, so let's make sure you don't lose too much of it to taxes. Hey, I'm Austin from Sale Financial Ed, and I help forward-thinking millennials get further in life faster with what they already have. This is part 2 of my 4-part tax season series. Super exciting topic, I know. Last week I talked about the basics of income taxes and how to file yours for free and still get that sweet return, and you can check that video up top here. So in today's video, I'm going to cover what documents and materials you need to collect to get the most credits and deductions to reduce the amount of taxes you get, and thus giving you the best return possible. And also, stay tuned to the end of this video because I put a little something together for you to help you stay organized this tax season and make your filing a bit easier. And again, I want to clarify that I'm not an accountant, and this video is more for people with modest incomes and simple tax filings. If you are in real estate or investing or self-employed or freelance, then it's probably better for you to go and find an accountant because they'll be able to save you a lot more than just the basic tips I'm offering in this video. Okay, so let's get you a good tax return. And what that even means is that you're able to reduce your tax burden as best as you can so you get to keep the most money in your pocket or pay out the least. And to do that, you need to submit all kinds of forms. First, I'm gonna cover your income forms, and then I'm gonna get into the meat and potatoes of all the deductions and credits that you're potentially able to get. So first is the good old T4 slip, which is essentially what your employer is legally obligated to send to you by February 28th, 2019. It's a document that shows you how much you earned over the past year and the taxes that you paid. By now, it should have already been mailed to you or will definitely be available on like a school or work portal or ADP if you're using software like that for your job. The next income form you might have to deal with is a T5 slip. This form looks at all of your taxable investment income, aka anything that you invested that wasn't in your RRSP or your tax-free savings account. And I've linked all kinds of sites and documents down below just for you to be able to find information on any of the topics that I covered today. And that's pretty much it. Those are the 2 main things that you're probably gonna have that are actually taxable. So now we get to go into the fun part, talking about the many ways that you can reduce your tax burden and keep your money to use it in the ways that you want. First, I'm gonna cover all kinds of things for students and recent grads because there's so many ways that you can reduce your tax burden right now. The first form to talk about is the T2202A form, which documents the tuition that you paid over the past year. It should have been mailed to you or is available for you on your student portal or student account, whatever it is that your university or college has. You get credited for every dollar you spend on tuition, and that can be rolled over. Hey, so I just wanted to update a little bit of information that I said when I initially filmed this video because it wasn't entirely correct. So when you pay tuition as a student, you get a tax credit for it. And in the year that you get that tax credit, then you can either transfer it to a spouse or a family member, claim it, or you can carry it forward into subsequent years. If you're carrying it forward into subsequent years, then you can't transfer it to anyone anymore, and you also have to make sure that you are claiming it if you have the ability to do so. Because if you don't, then the government will literally take it from you, even if you don't claim it, and then you lose out on the opportunity to use that tax benefit as your own. So do make sure you are claiming your tuition tax credits every year that you have the ability to, otherwise the government's just going to take it away from you. Anyways, back to the video. If you already have an online Canadian Revenue Agency account, then you should be able to see what you can roll over from following years already. If you don't have an account, then that's something I'll be covering in my next video in this series. So what else can get you tax credits as a student? If you're a student who has to buy a monthly transit pass, then that's a tax credit. Pro tip, get yourself a tax folder that you can keep all of your documents and receipts in year after year. This is mine. You should hold on to anything you submit, like transit receipts or transit passes, for up to 4 years because that's how far back the CRA could audit you for. And you don't want to be slapped with a hefty fine or anything like that for not having the proper documentation. If you moved while you were enrolled as a full-time student, That's a tax credit for all of those moving expenses. The same goes for if you're moving to run a new business or moving 40 kilometers or more to start a new job. Those are also tax credits. And lastly, if you paid interest on a provincial student loan, something like OSAP, then that's also a tax credit. And again, I've got more information on all the things I just mentioned down below. So other than students and recent grads, what are other expenses that people can use to reduce their tax burden? Well, many medical expenses are included, such as gluten-free products if you're a confirmed celiac, glasses, dental services, medical marijuana, assuming you bought it legally, EpiPens, and all kinds of other things. List down below. If you've donated to a registered charity, that's a tax credit. If you're renting your primary residence, then you could be eligible for a tax credit on your housing costs and energy bills. And if you've contributed to your RRSP, of course, and bonus points if your work matches your contributions, then you get tax deductions for contributing there. And if you want to find out more opportunities, then I've listed it down below. Although I would recommend that you look more for blogs or other write-ups by quality sources, because it's a bit dense trying to get through the actual Canadian tax code. Another pro tip: if you actually take the time to properly organize all of your receipts and documents, then it will make your tax filing experience, or that of the person who's filing it for you, much easier. So if you're still watching, as promised, I have a little gift for you, and that is a checklist of all of these documents and a few others and where to find them. This checklist will help you find out where you need to go and make sure you stay organized to get that sweet tax return. So keep your eye out for my video next week, where I'll be talking about how to get yourself set up online and how to actually file your taxes. So that's it for part 2 of my tax season series. If this video brought you value, then give it a like. And if you want to be one of the first to see my upcoming videos, then make sure you subscribe and hit the little bell button, and you'll be one of the first to be notified. Lastly, please do consider sharing this video if you find it useful, because everyone has to submit their taxes, and if this video can just help a few people and make their lives a bit easier, I'd be so happy for them to see it. And with that, I'll see you next week. Bye!